What's happening, everybody? trueeevil here, and today we're going to look over Holden and Hoyan and whether or not you should pull on them. They're both very great units, but the thing is, lattices are at a premium in this game, so you may or may not want to pull on them based on your resources. And the first character we're going to look at is Holden. Now, Holden is a defensive counterattack unit that has a turn meter pushback, and as well as it maximizes their skill cooldowns, which sounds amazing in PvP. And he also has this dispel, attack down, and res down, which is all really strong things against Terramaton. And because Inferno Terramaton has a lot of innate pushback defense, this is actually looking really strong. So even though you're not going to get the full 100%, it's still going to be quite a lot compared to a lot of other characters can do to Terramaton. Now the problem with this is it's showing us what the level 5s are. So we need to see how much we actually need to invest in for this character to be really strong in PvE and PvP. And the first thing we're going to look at is the dispel, because that is more important, I think, because of that immunity on Terramaton. And it says 50% here, which is why we need to check in the lattices what we need to do to make it 50%, because this is going to be pretty much a make or break it, because with effect accuracy we can put a piece on him to really help this chance, but 50% is not good enough on Terramaton, and you don't want to have to restart based off failing this. So the first thing I'm looking at is the chances, and we need to have this at level 3. So if you're not willing to get this to level 3, that is going to be a little iffy on whether or not you're going to use him for terror and whether or not you should use Heinrich instead. Now it also has a 5 turn cooldown unless if it's maxed out, which, you know, that is a really big deal with a lot of these units, and it's why Freya is so good. Actually, she just has all her cooldowns at the get-go. So I would say for this one you probably need minimum level 3 on the investment for the dispel, and preferably level 5 for those longer fights, but I think you can get by with just level 3 on this. Now for the skill 2, this is the one that is big, because the 100% chance to push back the meter sounds amazing, but the thing with this is when we look at the skill 3, it says chance to decrease turn meter and maximize skill cooldown increase to 75%, and then it's 100% at max, which is, it kind of means we're going to need to invest significantly into that skill 2 to make it worthwhile. And this is going to be the big one for him since he does scale off of defense. So definitely going to want to have to max that skill 2. And even I believe we will probably put an effect accuracy piece on him until a lot of things play out. So I think at least at the beginning, this is definitely going to be the skill you max out, but you're going to want at least this level 3, but preferably just max it out completely. So that is also another thing that's a little iffy for his kit, where you need to max him out. And then on here, execution mode, we're really looking at what makes the counterattacks better, because this is what makes Holden such an amazing unit. He doesn't need Bramble, he just has innate counterattack. And looking at this, it seems that we need this maxed out to really make him counterattack like out the wazoo. So this character is pretty much a feeling like he does need to be maxed out on the lattices to really pop off. So if you are someone who just doesn't have a lot of lattices, which is free to play light spinner players, even though Holden looks really great, you can use him as that despeller and level this to 3, but you're not getting that full amazing kit unless he's fully latticed. So for that, I am personally going to pull him, because I am using Rahu, and just these two together is going to be absolutely brutal, even though I'm not going to really have the lattices to really support him. But because I don't have Heinrich, I will use him before I get him ready for PvP as this despeller off getting this to level 3. So the next character we're going to look at is Hoyan, and as you can see, she doesn't wear any shoes, so that means she's a must pull for me. But if you're looking for practicality, let's delve into this kit and see whether or not we need to put any lattices on her to make her really pop off. So with Hoyan, let's look at her kit first before we decide whether or not she requires a lot of lattices, which is she has this giant skill 3 nuke on one enemy. It takes her HP away. It takes 50% of her current HP. And for every 10% of max HP loss, it increases the damage by 10%. And as we look at the lattices here, this stays the same, but what increases is the amount of attack damage, which maxes out at level 3 actually, which is really nice because even though the level 4 looks super nice, and in those longer matches you want the level 5 for sure, especially in PvE, this doesn't require a whole lot of lattices for it to really pop off. I think level 3 is all you need for this to just be absolutely destroying a lot of people. And then on the passive, what happens is it's a revive, and then with the revive, when she reses, she uses her skill 3, which is absolutely insane, and then she gets a undispellable attack up, which, looking at this tree at level 4 is where it maxes out on damage. So I don't know how much it will be at level 1. I really wish they would show the level 1s, but I would say you definitely want to get this to level 2 at least. Level 4 obviously preferable, and the extra cooldown is just going to be really nice for PvE. I don't think in PvP it'll matter a whole lot. I don't see her resing more than one time, except for like really long grindy games, which can happen. You could build like a tank comp with her and could really utilize this, but I think for a lot of people you don't have to spend that many. And then on the skill 1, just because of how her kit works, and we're really trying to just spam the skill 3, and I can see using her with like cooldown reducers just so you can heal her all the way back up, use this over and over again, really abuse this. So skill 1 is actually not that needed. It's not like Holden, who's using counterattacks. She is just a single target nuke, and because of that, and looking at her lattices, I think everyone should actually pull Hoyan, because this kit is going to be absolutely decimating PvP. It has a lot of practical uses in PvE, especially paired with characters like Ditting, and because of how much damage this can do, it might be really good in Doki Threshold. Now, I haven't tested this, but I do think she can do a ton of damage, say, to that middle enemy that a lot of people struggle with, and just absolutely decimate him. And as well as the revive mechanic will probably be really helpful as well in PvE. So definitely a must pull on the Hoyan. And then Holden is going to depend on whether or not you want to put those lattices in it, and whether or not you have like a Rahu that'll pair really well with them. So that's it for today, and I would also recommend watching other creators on their opinions whether or not you should pull these characters, because you should get multiple opinions if you're on the fence and not just listen to one person. So see you guys next time with another video.